Hello, 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 Facebook family. It is Justin Guarini, and it is day 22 of my 30-day live challenge. I'm so excited. It's day 23. It's not day 22. Let me fix that. It's day 23, right? Because it is the 23rd today. That's right. It is day 23. Fixed it of the 30-day live challenge. Want to make sure we got it right. I'm Justin Guarini. Thank you so very much for being here. As always, let me know where you're watching from in the US, around the world. I love to bring you guys and girls and non-binary folks up and just see where you're watching from. I love it. If you're watching live, let me know you're watching live. If you are watching on the replay, hit me up with a hashtag replay. If you have not heard about it yet, if you've been living under a rock, I would love for you to register for the Artist Mindset Mastery Facebook group. You can, if you are on Facebook, click the link above this video. If you're on YouTube watching this, click the link below this video. The doors are open. We just opened them this past Friday. We've already got a wonderful community of performers, singers, actors, dancers, people in the arts who are not only trying to just survive the entertainment industry shutdown, but to thrive in the entertainment industry shutdown. I happen to have had quite a bit of experience and success in the entertainment industry, and I formed this group right here, the company, Artist Mindset Mastery, as well as the Facebook group, to share that wisdom with my community, as well as serve up courses and deep discussions about the things that we need, not only to just, again, survive the COVID-19 shutdown, but to thrive during the COVID-19 shutdown, to become even bigger and better than we were before we entered, because guess what? It is a brand new world that we are moving into once this thing is done, because it will be done. The entertainment industry will come back. Broadway will come back. Film, television will come back like we know it. Well, not like we know it. It'll come back differently. It is a brave new world that we are entering into, and I want to create a community around the discussion of how can we thrive during this shutdown, and how can we get ahead of the rest of the competition who might not be thinking about the future in the way, or talking about the future in the way that we talk about it inside of the group. Okay. So that being said, I'd love to see where some people are coming in from. Andrea, B. Girls. Hello from Miami. What's up, Miami? That's nice. I haven't seen Miami. Kyle from Dallas, Texas. That's right, Kyle. What's up, man? Great to see your face here. Brooklyn, New York. For those of you who come up as Facebook user, there's a little thing that StreamYard makes you do where you have to go say, yes, StreamYard, you can use my name and likeness and all that stuff just for these broadcasts. So, new locations, Fishers, Indiana live. What's up, Fishers, Indiana? Awesome, awesome. Starla, how are you, darling? We go way back, live in Georgia. Hi. Hello, everyone. Well, thank you so very much for watching. Hey, today, like I said, is day 23 of my 30-day Facebook Live challenge. And today's show is all about the power of failure. Failure is something that will make a lot of people's toes curl, right? Even just saying the word failure maybe mess that up. But failure is this huge thing that so many people, myself included, have struggled with, are afraid of, and don't want to experience. But what I want you to consider, and this is our points to ponder about that, is that failure is probably one of the most powerful tools in your arsenal, especially as a performer. And look, as a performer, a singer, actor, a dancer, we fail all the time. Failure is a part of what we do. We don't get the audition, boom, considered a failure, right? And for me, it has been a huge part of not only my career, but of my success. I'm probably one of the biggest failures you know. I stood on what was then called the Kodak Theater, right, in Los Angeles, on the stage where they do the Academy Awards, where they do so many other huge award shows. And in front of 50 million people, I failed. It was like losing the Super Bowl, right? But I was just me on the other team, right? So I failed in front of 50 million people when I did not become the American Idol in 2002. Now, I could have tucked my tail between my legs. I could have walked away and just said, you know what, this isn't for me. I guess I failed. I didn't quite make it. But instead, after the broadcast was over, I remember it really well. I walked out into the middle of the stage, and this is huge theater. The Dolby, I think it's the Dolby Theater now, is the Kodak Theater. Then the Dolby Theater, not only do you have the massive or orchestra level rows, but then you have another row and another row. And I'm not sure if there's another one above that. I can't quite remember, but it is this huge space. And I remember there was still confetti everywhere, and no one else was in the theater. We were just about to leave because Kelly and I were going to fly to New York to do the Today Show. But just before we left, everybody else went, and I stood in the center of the stage on zero, right down at the front. And I just said to myself, I'm going to be back here, and I'm going to win. That was almost 20 years ago now. But that was a covenant that I made with myself, where I said that this failure will not define me. And I actually took the power of that failure and allowed it to fuel me and still fuel me today. So some of the other points to ponder here is one, failure actually, ooh, this is my jam, Kyle says. That's right. I thrive because of my failures. Absolutely, Kyle. That is a great comment. And certainly you, being a wonderful coach that you are, know all about how to turn failure around into success. And so one of the ways to do that I've learned is that failure actually teaches you how not to do something. It is a great teaching tool, right? Every single time I fail, I don't think, oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, why? No. I say, okay, well, I learned how not to do that. Isn't that interesting? I mean, think about it. When you fail, the next time you fail to do something, how much better would it feel if you said, well, I learned how not to do that. Okay, I'm going to try a different way. Failing over and over and over again is one of the greatest teaching tools, because you learn how not to do things. And eventually, after you fail enough times, you learn how to do it the proper way. One of my favorite stories about failure is a story of this guy a long time ago who had this idea for moving pictures of a character that he drew. And so he went to the bank because he needed a loan to make it happen, right? This wasn't a big thing. And so he goes to the bank and he says, dear Mr. Banker, here is my idea for this thing I've drawn. It's moving pictures. It's the cartoon thing. Here it is. Check it out. This is going to be great. Kids are going to love it. Adults are going to love it. It's fantastic. The banker took one look at it and said, no, thank you. And then well, all right, great. This person went to another bank and he said, here's my idea. This is the thing. Kids are going to love it. Gave his pitch, right? Banker took a look at it and said, nah. He went to 42 banks before someone, for whatever reason, said yes. 42 times. This person made their pitch. 42 times, or probably 41 times about, they were rejected. At any point, maybe around 10, maybe around 20, even 30, most people would be like, obviously this is not for me. I've gone to 30 banks. I don't know if there are 30 banks in a town or a city anymore, right? Of course, this is a long time ago, but he went to 30 different banks, 42 rather, different banks, and they said no. And then the one bank said yes. That person was Walt Disney, and he was peddling this cartoon called Steamboat Willie with this mouse. And now all of a sudden we have here, many decades later, we have the Disney company. What would have happened if Walt Disney had just given up and defined himself by those failures, instead of persevering and saying, well, that's not how I give that pitch, or that's not how I did that, and continuing to make it his pitch perfect and over and refined until it was perfect, rather. Right? So you learn how not to do something when you fail. Now, another great thing about failure is that you end up really building trust with yourself, right? I don't know, right? I said right. Like, I got to explain it to you. Well, I build trust all the time. When I fail, I learn how not to do something. But also in that failure, I recognize that, oh, okay, this is a part of the process. And I am willing to allow myself to trust myself enough to fail. Because when failure is not the specter of a thing that is you defined by, when failure is not this thing that is the end of the world, when failure is this thing that teaches you how not to do something so that you can learn how to do it, and when you allow yourself to be willing to fail, willing to come up short, you actually end up building trust in yourself. It's an interesting thing, right? But the more I have failed, the more trust I have built in myself, and the more I recognize that this is a part of the process, and the more that I am willing then to fail faster and fail harder. It's interesting, the correlation between the amount of failure and the sort of the depth and weight of the failures that I experience are directly related to the weight and the amount of successes that I have had in my career. Auditions are a huge and very simple example of that. I've failed numerous times in auditions. I've learned how not to do auditions. I've failed so badly in certain auditions and then gone back and analyzed it and figured things out because I trusted myself enough to fail. I didn't play it safe, right? Because we want to keep failure away, so we play it safe. And I ended up building the kind of trust it takes to just say, I'm willing to fail, which leads me to my next point and final point to ponder. I left room for my own genius. Now I'm not patting myself on the back there. It's you as well, right? Anyone. When you are willing to fail, when you're willing to just go for it, you leave room for your genius to come out. For these things that you had no idea that were going to happen. Again, you learn how not to do something. You build that trust over time with yourself. And that trust leads you inevitably to allow that which is unique, that which is genius, that which no one else can bring to the table, and that which is not expected to happen. It's wild. But trust me, anyone who you see who is in a position of success, whether it's me, whether it's people that you admire on television, whether it's coaches, whether it's whomever, those people who have achieved the things that you want to achieve, are in positions of power, have all failed massively. I mean, massive failures. There's no one that I can think of anyway in a position of power or in a position of great success that has not experienced deep and utter failure to the point of despair even, which is part of what I would argue, which is part of their success. Because it's overcoming that failure. It's overcoming those feelings of worthlessness. Like Lil Sweet, that's right, Lil Sweet. Lil Sweet, yes, absolutely. Lil Sweet, just like, he's someone who is completely unwilling, or is completely willing, rather, to just completely fail. He puts himself out there, right? There's something that's sexy about that willingness to just go for it. I think maybe in relationships, back before I was married, if I was dating someone and there was a girl who was just like, I was dating someone and she just like was willing to just be a complete fool, and it was the most attractive thing in the world because I get it and I loved it. Okay. So, I think Chuck is giving me a little note here. I didn't worry about failing to get Lil Sweet. Yes, I see what you're saying now. But either way, Lil Sweet's personality, certainly he's not afraid to fail. And certainly I wasn't afraid to fail at all in my Lil Sweet. Yeah, so if you go back and you look at my Lil Sweet origin story, I think it was like probably day like 3 or something like that, you will see that I was completely and utterly willing to fail. There was a lack of care when it came to failure. Right there, for sure. That being said, let's see. that's it. Yesterday, just to go right back before I give my final word, yesterday we did announce the winner for the Artist Mindset Mastery free 30-minute live Zoom session with me, and that was Angel Jonathan Lozada. Congratulations. I'm talking with him right now. Thank you to all of you who have registered for the Artist Mindset Mastery Facebook group. If you would like to register for that group, all you need to do is click the link above this video if you're watching Facebook, or below it if you're watching YouTube, and you can be registered and in the group. And it is a phenomenal group of people who are not only working to survive, but to thrive during the entertainment industry shutdown. Okay, let me wrap things up here with my final word. I would encourage you and have you consider to trust yourself enough to allow yourself to fail. Consider the possibility of what it would be like if you trusted yourself enough to allow yourself to fail. A lot of people are unwilling to fail. Want to play it safe? Do not want to fail. Want to know what the outcome is going to be. And I would have you consider that that is doing yourself a significant disservice. And that the faster you fail, the faster you will succeed. Period. Let's see. That's right. Kyle, couldn't see it. Fail hard, then seek revelation. And that's so interesting that you say that, Kyle, because revelation is a huge word for me in that statement. You fail hard, and then you seek revelation. There's that analysis that you go back and you just say, what happened? And break it down dispassionately, right? Not, oh, this happened, and they just drive the knife even further into yourself. No. You fail hard, and then you go analyze moment by moment, dispassionately, without emotion, and discover, okay, I'm going to try this new thing next time. It's just a recipe. Sometimes the cake falls. Sometimes your meal does not come out tasting the way you want it to taste. Sometimes you just don't get to that workout. Sometimes you don't get to that meditation. Sometimes you don't say the right thing to your partner. Sometimes you just completely mess something up in business. That failure does not define you. It is an opportunity for you to seek that revelation, that understanding, and that growth. It's pretty awesome. Here we go. Judy says, if you can dance in public as if nobody's looking, it's my idea of courage and being willing to fail. Yes. If you ever want to do yourself a huge favor, ever want to do yourself a huge favor, just go out into a public place. I mean, like, things are a little different now, right? But if you could go out to a public place wearing a mask and just dance like nobody's watching, just do it. I mean, I don't care if it's the what's her name from Seinfeld? Is it Eileen? Was the character's name? I think, right? It doesn't matter. However you dance, if you want to really truly understand what it's like to just trust yourself and just go for it and put yourself out there, oh my goodness, just put your hands in the air and dance like you just don't care. That's what Chuck just said to me, for sure. That's it. It will be one of the greatest exercises you could ever do for yourself. You're going to feel crazy. You're going to feel stupid. People are going to look at you. But it is one of those things that just helps build a little layer of armor, especially for a performer, that that you can do. Yes, that's right. Elaine dance. That's right, Chris. That's right. Thank you very much, Raymond. That's right, Elaine. Elaine is the character's name that I was thinking of. Okay, so really, my as I wrap things up here, my question for you is: where in your world can you fail faster? Where in, let's see, for example, in whether it's your body or your spiritual connection to yourself or your relationships or your business, where in your world can you fail faster? Because the faster you fail, and the harder you fail, and like Kyle said, the more you take that failure and use it to learn how not to do something, to build that trust for yourself, to leave room then for your genius based upon that trust and based upon the revelation, like Kyle said, that you get from failure, where in your world can you fail faster so that you can succeed faster? That's my question for you. All right. Last but not least, if you have not registered, if you're a performer, a singer, actor, dancer, and you have not registered for the Artist Mindset Mastery Facebook group, if you're on Facebook, click the link above this video. If you're on YouTube, click the link below this video and register. The doors are open. It is a phenomenal community of singers, actors, dancers, performers, people looking not only to survive, but to thrive in the COVID-19 shutdown and to take part in discussions and coursework and all kinds of things that we're rolling out that's not only going to help you maintain your skill sets, but to actually increase your skill sets and to create the foundation, which I think is so important. The foundation of your skill sets actually is your mindset. The mindset work, who you bring to your business, who you bring to the singing, acting, and dancing you do, the attitudes that you bring to all of that. I mean, you've seen it. There are plenty of people out there, one-name stars who unfortunately are no longer with us, who had everything, had all the skills, had all the money that people think that they want, had all the stuff that people think that they want. But what was going on here and here, you can't see it, heart, were two very, very different things. And that is the foundation of all of that, right? Singing, acting, dancing, those are mechanical things, skill sets that you can learn, right? But mindset, on the other hand, if you really think about it, I think we talked about this, and I'll only be brief here because we're about 20 minutes in. Mindset, there are two kinds of mindset. There's a fixed mindset that says, this is the way things are going to be, this is how I am, and that's that. Great. In some areas, that can serve you. In the area of performance, that very rarely serves you. The other is the growth mindset, right? I can learn new things. I can be bigger. I can be better. I can be more. I am able. Now more than ever, during the COVID-19 shutdown of our industry and our world for that matter, being able to have a growth mindset, being able to understand the concept of the fact that while we are in this contraction, that there is the possibility for expansion in our lives, right? Our world's, I've said it a million times, I'll say a million times more, our world has completely contracted, right? We can't go out and do the same things that we do. We don't go to our jobs the same way. If we're singing, acting, and dancing, we don't go to the classes the same way. Everything that we do is just like 2020. Huge contraction. Yet, there is a possibility for massive expansion inside of that contraction. And that conversation and so many more are the kinds of things that we talk about inside the Artist Mindset Mastery Facebook group. So won't you click on the link above or below this video to register for that. All right. Well, this has been the day 23 of my 30-day live challenge, all about the power of failure. Thank you so very much for watching. I will see you for day 24. I cannot believe that we have less than a week left of these live challenges. It's awesome. It's been fun. It's been stressful. It's been everything in between for my business partner, Chuck, and I. But I've enjoyed doing it. Thank you so very much for watching. I'm Justin Guarini, and I hope that you have an absolutely wonderful night. I will see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody.